Today, I'm gonna make a tier list about the best heroes to play in Marvel Rivals if you actually want to get better. And to start it off, do not play Cloak and Dagger. She's too easy. She has too many abilities where, like, if you get caught up in it, you basically don't have to worry about awareness, positioning. She doesn't push you to become a better player. Not only that, her ultimate is basically kind of easy. Well, actually, no, her ultimate is probably the only thing in her kit that actually matters in terms of skill. Not only that, she boasts the highest healing in this game. She can heal for a lot. If you're a Cloak and Dagger main, you know what I'm talking about. She can do like a lot of healing, and that's the thing. That's the number one thing you don't want if you want to improve as a player, because you get so tunnel vision and having a high ceiling stat that you think you're a good player when you're actually not. But the thing is, if you keep seeing that high number, you become biased. You don't become a good judge of your own character. Number one, Daredevil, he's A tier. Yes, he's kind of like button smashing, but that's the thing. Once you've mastered Daredevil and how to play him, not even keeping track of his fury or his cooldowns, I'm talking about after mastering all of that, you have to get creative with him. You have to know how to feint, how to basically take advantage of the space being created, how to make your own space, how to reflect, how to disengage and not become emotional. All of this kind of pushes you to become a greater player. And I think this is what I'm going to say, is that what I mean, like becoming a better player, I'm talking about mechanics, I'm talking about mental, I'm talking about everything that involves being a good player in Marvel Rivals. Animal Warlock definitely goes S tier, because when you lock in Animal Warlock, your team is only going to say GG's, no heals, we have an Animal Warlock, you want to throw. No. See, this is what I mean. When you hear that, part of you just wants to switch over to Cloak and Dagger, or even Loot and Snow, or any other support, because so much heat, Animal Warlock gets a lot of hate. But besides becoming resilient and staying true to your word and basically becoming stronger and not caring what people say, his healing is basically a ricochet. It means you have to be aware of when the other support's healing, when your teammates are on low HP, and you basically use your heals. I'm not saying you can't spam them, because his heals could become spammable, but his soul bond lasts for a couple seconds and it has a high cooldown. You have to be aware. You need to be having good awareness of when to use it and when not to use it. Not to become emotional. Not like, oh, when someone's gonna use their ult, not gonna use their ult, or it looks like you better get eliminated, don't pop it. Basically, he's basically the pinnacle of what you want to use if you want to become a good player. He's always challenging you to become better. Even his ultimate, you need to know when to time it. And if you have teammates, if you have always getting out healed by the other supports, is a thing you need to look into. Adam Warlock will basically highlight a bunch of these things for you. Angela, he kind of above Daredevil. She is kind of simple to use. Like, you can master her mechanics pretty easy. But the thing about it is that once you do that, you're gonna get comfortable with that. So basically, you have to push yourself. Because if not, you're not carrying any space. You're basically being useless. She falls into that realm. I think she's above Daredevil at this point. She falls above that realm. And if you're a tank player and you're not creating any space, you're not peeling the front line, or like I said, creating space, you're going to feel emotional. You're going to feel like you need to go in there just to create that space for your team. What all that does is basically set you up to be free ultimate charge for the enemy team. That's the number one thing you don't want to do. Don't get emotional about your stats, but playing Hela, especially Animal Warlock, basically challenges you. In that case, Black Fox. Not Black Fox, Black Cat. She's below Daredevil. She has too much damage, too much abilities where she can sustain herself. Has that double jump, always be in the air. Yes, you need to be, once you've mastered her fundamentals, yes, you still need to be creative. All that is objectively true, but she has a lot of damage. Like, even if you kind of mid with her, kind of not, somewhere between good and mid, you can still get a lot more damage potential, a lot of burst, a lot of securing finals, way more than Daredevil. She can literally become tunnel vision, which is how easy she is once you master her. This also falls in with BP. BP, he's too good at what he does. That's why he's really with Black Cat at this moment. It's not that, BP has never suffered in Marvel Rivals in terms of balancing and how good can you play him. It's just like, he's too good at what he does. And if he's not too good at what he does, he kind of falls off. That's why he's in A tier. He still pushes you to become a good player, but he also has a lot of stupid abilities. Like, it's dash. You basically only have a fraction of a second to react to. How is that skillful? You know what I mean? Has too many things going for him. Too much high burst. I think he's above Black Cat, right next to Daredevil. Because Black Cat, I think she's way easier than BP. Black Widow, she would go in B tier. Only because you do need good aiming together, but most people that don't even play hit scan can play her and still get a lot of finals. But this is the thing about Black Widow, is that she's not challenging enough. Anyone that sucks at hit scan player probably get easy finals, like I said. But the thing about her is that she's too good at what she does. She falls under BP's thing. She's too good at what she does. She could just sit in the front line, get easy picks when their enemy tank is not paying attention, and that's it. Even flanking, she probably does it better. But that's the thing. People become too tunnel vision on how easy she is at getting finals. Same thing that falls in with Cloak and Dagger. You become tunnel vision of your healing stat because you realize how good she is at doing that. That's the only thing you want to do, and it doesn't push you to become a better player. The only thing you do is reflect on how much finals you have, even though that's not gonna help you rank up or even become a better player. Blade, probably around Angela. He needs to be in the front line. He needs to be taking damage. He needs to be blocking damage. He needs to be creating space, be poking, also be Bailey at the same time. Use his ultimate in a good way. His ultimate is basically really dodgeable. Even if you land it, people can just sidestep and that's it. He's also falls on the same realm of Angela and Daredevil where you need to get creative. Even if you master his fundamentals, you need to be aware. Captain America, S tier. The thing about Dive and Captain America, the thing about tanks in general is that they have low damage output. Even though they have high burst damage, that requires either their cooldown, their ultimate, and knowing how to animation cancel. But besides all that, you're basically just being a damage sponge for most tank players. And with Cap, you need to be very careful because you could be locked up really easy. If the enemy team has a snowball or anything that can CC you down, you're basically useless, your ultimate charge. So that's where you need good cooldown management, good animation canceling, good awareness, knowing where health packs are, knowing how to use your ult properly, not becoming emotional. And what I mean is like that, if you keep dying on, keep getting eliminated with Captain America, part of you just wants you to switch. Your team is going to tell you to switch. The enemy team is going to be typing div. You need to be a good player. Captain America does push you to become that player. He's not he's not a main tank. Cyclops, definitely around this. Simply because his E gives a lot of like easy poke damage. He's also just another poke hero. But the thing about his primary fire is that he's kind of like Luna Snow, where you kind of have to aim it a little bit ahead to get the full damage of your thing. Not only that, his two movement abilities separate apart because you need to use them in creative ways to get out of jail free cards. They're not that really hard to use, but he still does push you because right now his damage output is not that high. You basically need to be aware of what you're doing, what target you're prioritizing, because if not, you're just gonna be shooting main, not getting any picks. You need to be aware of how you're gonna combo with your E, with your shift, with your right click, all this stuff to get eliminations with him. Deadpool, same thing. I think he's really below because he has so many things going for him. But this goes for every role he's playing. Not only does he have good peeling as a support, not only does he have like a lot of damage as tank and DPS, his simple just bopping on people's head and just dashing, that's a lot of burst damage, and you can get really like easy with him with that like that. And he has a lot of stuff going to it. His double bounce, his dash, all of this stuff makes you complacent. Devil Dino S tier. Playing Devil Dino will basically make you want to rage quit. And I don't think that's what I'm really trying to talk about here, but being a good Devil Dino player is hard in this season because you need to do above and beyond. Sometimes he might be a throw pick that is why kind of below S tier. Because Devil Dino, no matter how much he suffers, he kind of doesn't work in many comps. Even if you're a good player, even though he pushes you. But yeah, he would definitely push you because you need to be aware. You're a big target. You need to hug walls. You need to be aware of positioning. Cooldown management, know how to use your ult, not get emotional when you're not getting finals. You just have to set up your team. Strange falls into A tier, but why? Strange has a lot of things going for him. He has a shield, he's popular, he has a good leap. What else does he have? He has a good ultimate that stuns people. He has a lot of things going for him. The thing about it is people become complacent in him. And when you become complacent, you start becoming schizo because you see that you're a champion lord on Strange and you'd be like, why am I not getting Celestial? Why am I not getting Eternity? Even though I'm a good Strange player, I make my portals pretty good. I have a lot of things going for me. Why am I still bad? That's because Strange doesn't cap out how good you are at aligning your abilities. It requires how good is your timing, how good can you become on Strange, but how creative can you be? Because just leaping and trying to pop your ult immediately can be countered so easy, and that's what the Strange players like to do. But that is the number one thing. He will make you go schizo because you have so many things going for you, but you could become such a better player if you just log in and start thinking about how to play Strange a better, more effective way. Now you're just traditional, playing a tank player, just being a shield tank and just absorbing a bunch of damage. No, he actually pushes you to be better. And what kind of reinforces is support players will be like, oh my god, I love me a shield tank. You're gonna be basically having a Discord Ekin and basically glazing you for going shield tank, even though you guys end up still losing the match. Don't listen to them. Push yourself. You will become a better Strange player. Playing, even if you don't play Strange, he will basically push you to your limits because he has a lot of potential to become, you know, one of the best tanks out there. Elsa, B tier. She's also B tier. I'm not saying she doesn't require skill. You do need a combo of her abilities, but she has a lot of things going for her as well. She has a lot of damage output, a lot of mobility, a good ultimate that basically CCs down a lot of people. What I was gonna say, she just has too much going for her. Way too much. Pierce, yeah, way too much. You become complacent with her because you realize how easy and effective she is. Emma also probably around strangest thing, simply because Emma, she is like Strange. She is easy to use. She is objectively probably one of the best tanks out there, but she falls off once you become too complacent because you think like, oh, I'm absorbing damage, I'm doing the best I can. No, sometimes it's not about how much damage you absorb, it's how much can you avoid that damage and still be effective. How good is your positioning? How good are you communicating with your team? This is pushing you to become a better player, especially with your ultimate. Ultimate can be dodged really easy. That's why you need to be, your timing needs to be up there. Same thing with Strange. Gambit, B as well. Probably C. I would say, yeah, he's B. Because if you're bad, you're not going to be getting a lot of Gambit. Yeah, he really got nerfed, but he's still probably the number one picked support if he's not banned, simply because of his ultimate as a cleanse. He's the damage boost, likely an anti-heal. A lot of things going for him. If you want to get the most out of him, it's basically taking off angles and basically using an anti-heal against the enemy team. And for a lot of bot support players, this would probably be also a good pick. But like I said, all that stuff gets overshadowed because there's a lot of utility, a lot of healing output, a good ultimate that players just turn off their brains with Gambit. He's just like, it basically stops you from pushing yourself. Groot, on the other hand, I would say he's like right there, yeah. Basically right there. He has a lot of good, like I said, he has a lot of stuff going for him. His walls, how much space he can create. But you can easily be countered by Wolverine. The thing about it is most Groots, they're already stuck in their own dilemma where they're not trying to get countered, but it's also hard to play him. So he's not really a hero where you want to play him to get better, because you can easily fall into the trap of he's being too simple. Just put your walls and that's it. Honestly, no, he will be S tier. Because playing Groot is a big chore to do. But I'll just put him, I'll go back to it, because he can easily fall, once you master him and know to play him, you could easily fall into the trap of just thinking you're better just because you're creating a lot of space. But if you know Marvel Rivals, you need to challenge yourself. Everyone has already maxed out their easy abilities, their easy value, and to speed this up, I'm gonna go faster, just so we don't spend here every day. Hawkeye, right above Strange. Actually, no. Is he? I think he's right above Widow. Yeah, you need to good aim. You need to practice how your projectile is timing. So basically timing your primary fire. But the thing is, he also has a lot of damage output. He has a good ultimate, and his mobility kind of restricts him, so you need good positioning. But he doesn't really challenge you once you start landing your ultimate, once you start just absorbing damage. I think maybe he might be around Cyclops, actually. So yeah, actually no, yeah, right there. Hela, I'm guilty of this myself. Hela's really right there. She has too much high burst damage. Or like you can literally 3-shot people. Or I think, yeah, 3-shot people with a headshot and like 2 body shots, or 2 headshots and 1 body shot. I don't know, but even with her team abilities make her too strong. You can become tunnel vision with how easy she is to get eliminations. But the thing is, she's really good at what she does. Same thing with BP. Hulk, on the other hand, Hulk S tier. I don't play Hulk, but I see him. The thing about Hulk is that you need to be in there. That's why he's really good. That's why he pushes you, because you need to be in there. You need to be diving in. A lot of people don't like diving because you can easily get snowballed, get Bucky hooked, and become useless. And you can feel bad about yourself. You want to be switching over to Mag or Strange to fulfill that need of being useful. But Hulk really pushes you. Cooldown management, ultimate management, mentality, not getting emotional. He's definitely up there, probably even more than Devil Dino, but I'll keep Ulrich here. Torch, he's kind of good, but only people that master him. Honestly, Torch also kind of falls into B tier. I know most people probably think like, wait, but his primary fire is not easy to land, and you can get shot off the air by hit scan, and you easily get countered by poke, which is kind of true. Depending on the map and depending on the thing, you easily can, actually no, I scrap that. He is around A tier. The only thing I'm putting right here is because he has a lot of damage output. You do need good position, not get picked off and hug walls. and basically be sneaky, like basically flanking. The thing about him is that he still has a lot of things going for him. His good ultimate, he has 2 like shifts, so basically good mobility. He has his area of effect damage over time. He's a lot of things going for him. He's a lot of damage. It might push you once you master his fundamentals. Once you start locking in with him, he becomes like, you also become schizo like Strange. The only thing I don't put him is because he's DPS. You can become like in most lobbies, you can diff a lot of people simply just because you have better mechanics. You're better at aiming, you're better at landing your abilities. But that isn't pushing you to become a better player, because there's more to this game than just mechanics. Invis, C tier. She's too good at what she does. Way too good at what she does. Good ultimate, good sustain. The only thing is that, well, for ultimate, you need to be either outside of it or in it. So basically, knowing when to be out of it and when to in it, timing your ultimate, also not wasting your push and not wasting your shift ability, but not just having there in the bank and just waiting until someone pushes you for you can push them back. No, playing off your cooldown. So basically, always making sure your cooldowns are being used. But a lot of us Invis players do not like doing this. Why do they need to do this? Invis doesn't. You don't need to play off your cooldowns a lot of the times. Simply because you're in the backline just healing in a safe place. You get pushed, you just automatically go invisible. Double jump and that's it. So yeah, Invis does not push you to become a better player. Iron Fist does. You need to go in there, you need to dive. A lot of Iron Fist players, you see, they struggle with like, what can I do more? Like I'm pushing, I'm diving. Maybe I'm not getting heals. No, it's mostly about timing. Now, you don't always have to be in their faces, but this basically challenges you. It's all mental with all these S tier heroes. Iron Man, a good Iron Man player can be really good, really dangerous. But if you're Iron Man playing, I think he's also S tier. And the thing only saving him, or basically the only thing I could probably take him to A tier is simply his ultimate. His ultimate is so powerful. You can eliminate Invis out of her ultimate. But the timing, the thing is so counterable. If you're not good at timing, you're basically cooked. You need to have good positioning, good timing, good awareness, not peeking when you need. Because if someone's aware that's an Iron Man's present around their facility, like around their peripheral vision or around their near them, any dive will immediately try to get rid of Iron Man. But if they're focused on something else and you don't make yourself known, you can flank. You can do a bunch of things to become an effective Iron Man player. The only thing saving him right now is that he does have good high burst damage, and you can be far away and still give him a lot of burst damage with his ultimate. Jeff probably goes with right there. And Jeff's ultimate is so counterable. A lot of Jeff players get a lot of hate simply because his healing isn't there compared to other support. So you need to play Jeff not as a traditional support, but basically doing poke damage, flanking, becoming annoying, becoming unkillable. A lot of these things push you to become a better player. Loki, same thing with things. You can like spawn a bunch of you, get a lot of healing, basically copy someone's ultimate. You can become super complacent, have your your lamps, to basically stop you from getting eliminated with your team. Just easy button, you press it, that's it. You become complacent. Luna Snow, B tier. The only reason is because Luna Snow, you need particularly good aim to get that damage that everyone talks about. DPS Luna, you need to have good aim. But other than that, all her abilities kind of just speak for themselves. They don't require a lot of skill. They kind of don't push you to become a better player. She is a good support if you're a DPS player, or your DPS or your team doesn't want to peel for you. But yeah, but also because Luna she can't go invisible. She doesn't have her lamp. Yes, she does have a self-healing clap, but if you don't have good aim, you're not going to get the most out of it. Coupled with the fact that Luna's mobility is based off, like, she needs a wind up. She needs to spend a second just walking before she becomes ice skate form, which any dive like BP, Daredevil, anyone can just counter. Basically just lock you up and get a free elimination. Magic requires a high skill ceiling. The only reason she isn't above S tier is because a lot of people don't know how to counter Magic because she has like an iframe where no damage can be done to her at all. So she easily can become very complacent because a lot of players don't know how to counter her. Yes, you can practice your better than butter combo, but knowing when to use them, how to use them, and not getting addicted and becoming tunnel vision of getting from elimination finals because you're good at using Magic. Yeah, you can become easy tunnel vision. I think maybe she's probably A tier, but she still requires a lot of timing, a lot of things like this. She really falls in with the realm of Strange, like I said with Strange, where you can become so good at her, but you're still lacking that game sense, that knowledge, knowing when to ult, when not to ult, when to push, when not to become emotional. She falls under that realm. I think also Mag is around that tier. I think it's around, below A simply because he also falls the same realm as just all these top. It's the only thing is that he has a good ultimate where he basically absorbs a lot of projectiles. He has a bubble, a self shield. He has a lot of things going for him. A lot of burst damage too, a lot of poke damage. The thing about Mag is that he can't output that damage consistently, and he can easily get picked off. Not because he doesn't have any shields or bubbles, but because you become tunnel vision with trying to be useful, trying to create space. That shouldn't be your main priority as Mag all the time. Yes, objectively true, you should be frontlining, but being that creative spark kind of dwindles you when you all that's Mag is all known for it, and that kind of plays into your mentality. Like this hero can become very complacent very easy because objectively speaking, all these heroes that are around B, they're so good at what they do. Even in A tier, all of them do good. Like all of them provide so much things. Mantis, S tier. Because if you're just a cloak and dagger, heal bot, Invis, Luna Snow, Rocket, or even a DPS player, playing her, you need good positioning, you need good aim. You need, how do you say it? You just need, she's not traditional, just turn off your brain and just heal. No, you need to be aware of her. You need to be, you're forced to play with the team. You need to play with your tanks. You need to play with your DPS. You need to push with them. You need to constantly be turning on your brain, being aware, having good cooldown management, all that. Good positioning, yeah. Fantastic for also around A tier. I mean S tier. Actually, no. Not around right here. No, right here, yeah. Simply because he does have a lot of things going for him. His ability where he just absorbs all damage and reflects it back, that can make you complacent. Doesn't really push you. It just, his ultimate is kind of not that easy. It's not, like, I'm not trying to diss you players that play him, but you become very complacent. Moon Knight, oh my god, what can I say about Moon Knight? He kind of falls into this realm too because he doesn't require a lot of aim. The only thing that kind of pushes you, if anything, is knowing how to use your ultimate. And that could probably just be around Invis tier or C tier. Namor, C. He provides too much damage, but so many things going for him. You can easily turn off your brain with him too. Have your squids aim for you, do the damage, and that's it. Maybe time your ultimate. Same thing with Moon Knight. It's just that they're kind of like the same type of people, but yeah, I'm gonna put them here. They don't really push you to become a better player. Penny, B tier. You do need to know how to play her. You need to know how your webs work, all that stuff. She has too much damage. You can get easy eliminations just by your nest and your bombs. That's it. I'll probably put her above Widow because you do need, actually no, right there with Mag because she has a lot of things going for her. Like you easily become tunnel vision. Jean Grey, Phoenix, same thing. Probably above Hela. Right around, I think. Yeah. She has a good escape. She has a self-healing, a stun, a good ultimate that can take out Rocket's ultimate. She has a lot of things going for her. What else? Psylocke. Oh, she kind of falls with... Actually, no. She kind of falls with Psylocke. I mean, with Cyclops. Simply because she's not that... She don't have a lot of damage going. She does. She is very simple and easy to use once you master her. The only thing is that you're kind of capped out once you master her simple bread and butter combo. The only thing that doesn't make her B tier, the only thing that doesn't make it Earth tier is her ultimate and her invincibility. Yeah, like you could become very schizo of her. Like, yeah, you're getting finals and everything, but you still lose matches, not because you're a bad player, but because she's basically making you complacent. She basically, I'll put it in B tier. She basically makes you complacent with how much damage she puts. Punisher, man, I don't want to say that about Punisher because I like Punisher and he does push me to get better aim, but he kind of falls into Black Widow because actually, even below Psylocke because his shotgun does so much burst damage. Once the enemy's tank is in front of your face trying to do a bunch of garbage, you can basically just shut them down with just spamming your shotgun, especially if a rocket on your team requires no skill, does not push you at all to become a better player. Sometimes you do need good aim, but you can become... I'll just put him below A tier. He's like, you can easily become complacent. Rocket, oh my god, Rocket, yeah. Actually, no, C tier. You can become very complacent. The only thing is that you need to be aware of is getting flanked. Either that, he's really good at just having a lot of sustain, just turning off your brain, using popping your ult. She does not push you to become a better player, not that much. He kind of caps out once you know those simple fundamentals. Rogue A tier, S tier. Probably above, she's low S tier. Simply because Rogue doesn't have really a good shield at all. Yeah, she can just block or just have her thing up, but like, you need to be constantly diving, constantly doing a lot of work, and that can take a lot of your mental. You need to play her in a creative way. Instead of being a traditional shield tank and a traditional dive tank, you need to play her in more unique ways. You basically need to start team fights and end team fights with Rogue. You are that leader that's pushing you to do something because you can't stall so much on Rogue because as soon as she starts playing a long team fight, she starts falling off a lot. And if you're if you're in that situation where you're playing rogue and you need a stall, where you're taking a big team fight where nothing is dying, you need to be calm, because if you're not, you basically mess up your abilities, your cooldown management, for the sake of trying to start something, even though the team is already getting. Now, you can't start something in the middle of nothing. Like, she isn't that. Like, once you start, you gotta start strong. You can't start in the middle, because you miss your golden opportunity to do a lot of impact with rogue. So yeah, actually no, she would actually probably be then above, right there between Jeff and Captain America. Wanda, nah, because I know Wanda. The thing about Wanda is that she is hard to play because a lot of people can just shut her down. But the thing about it is she still has a lot of damage, a lot of easy to use auto aim, all sorts of things, a lot of damage, good ultimate if you land it. She doesn't really push you to become a better player. Spider-Man around this, and I know Spider-Man players get a bad rap simply because they're selfish, they never swap their kind of always thing, or always like basically becoming free ultimate charge, having a lot of, deaths. But that's the thing, when you're a Spider-Man player, you're facing a lot of criticism from the community. People look down on you. That plays a big mental tax on you. You have to be like super mentally strong in order to like not let it get to you. You basically have to stop caring while also performing bread and butter combos. But once you master those bread and butter combos, the Hydra combo, whatever it's called, you need to have good awareness. You need to be creative. You need to know when to like push, when not to push. Because the thing about Spidey, you can basically punish a lot of bad players, a lot of even mid players to good players, but that isn't going to be sufficient in winning games. Yes, it's good when you're getting eliminations, but you need to know who to pick and who to waste your abilities on, and who to not to waste your abilities, when to use your ultimate, not when to use it. And the thing about it is that even though he has high mobility, he has a lot of damage going for him, you could easily get shut down by Namor. People know how to counter Spider-Man now. You're basically solo diving as Spider-Man. You're always alone. Spider-Man easily gets countered, even in his ultimate. So he has a lot of things going for him that push you to become a better player. Squirrel Girl, D tier. Nope, she's too easy. The thing is about it, she has like a thing where you can master how much bounce your acorns have, like mastering how to hit them better. But the thing is, like, she has too much high burst damage. Just turn off your brain, shoot, use your ultimate. I think she's probably above Invis, simply because she's still a DPS where like you still need to aim, you still need to do certain things to get good damage out of her. The thing is, once you get all that high damage, you don't really push yourself. You kind of just turn off your brain and just shoot your primary. Star-Lord, definitely above, right around, I don't know, I think he's probably around Mantis. I kind of want to put him higher because I like Star-Lord. I play him a lot. The thing about it is that, is that his team up ability made it more viable because he has snares, basically trapping people. He has basically his ability that basically locks down people, so you can basically just burst them down. That kind of doesn't push you to become a better player at all. That's the only thing that kind of puts him in that category. You still need good aim though to get with him. You still need good technique to play with him. You still need to know when to time your rolls, when to flank, when not to flank. And it's kind of falls with the same thing with Iron Man, where like if the enemy team knows that you're around the corner, that's basically, you're useless. Someone's gonna go target you. Someone's gonna go shut you down. You need to be so sneaky, because the moment the enemy team knows that you're alive or you're around them, you become useless. I think the only thing he probably isn't higher than Iron Man because he has a good mobility. He can get away from a lot of stuff. You can just poke, be annoying, that's it. But even then, he still falls into S tier. Storm is also A tier. She has a lot of burst, a lot of good. No. She does become his scam of Thor's team up ability. But the thing about Storm is that she does have a lot of damage going for her. You can become very complacent just trying to use projectiles and your primary fires and landing your easy ultimate, because your ultimate, even if the landing good, you can still get at least one pick with it. So I will say about right around. That's the thing, I don't really know too much about Storm to be putting her in this tier, simply because I don't know how to play her. So I would say I think she does push you to be a good player because she is a flying unit, which you could get picked off, and she's not like Storm or not like Torch, where you can basically put down some things to get area effect damage. So you kind of like need to have some level of skill. So I would say she was above, around Hawkeye level. Thing also is above A, probably around here. And the thing is, he kind of falls around Groot's level and Blades because you need to be in the front line. You can get shut down really quickly. The thing is that he has his ability called I don't know what it's called. I think we're like grounded, where like you can't. Basically, he can counter a lot of mobility characters in Marvel Rivals, which just basically makes you become complacent. It's like Namor, like you just use him just to counter and that's it. I'm not saying he doesn't take any skill. He does push you to become a better player because you need good awareness, good positioning, good cooldown management. That's why he's above around Groot level because he can't create walls. You have to create your own. You have to create the space for your team. Thor, he's around Mag level. Thor is too good at what he does. His hammer propelling himself and basically doing a quick U-turn and doing all that stuff. Having a good ultimate, having good boxing abilities where like he can 1v1 someone or basically fight a team by himself and get a lot of damage, a lot of ultimate charge. He's too good at what he does. You can become very complacent. Even if you're a really good Thor player, you can stop. Your creativity can be killed because you're so good at getting damaged. You're so good at healing. You're so good at doing what you do as Thor. He's not really good tier to pick. But the only reason why most of these aren't in A tier is simply because once you reach every character here, once you reach their potential where like you know how to play them, you have like Lord icons on them, you need to think outside of the box to play them. But the thing is, you start capping out because they don't really offer a lot of like, you can't read them like a book and see like, oh, what can I do more with him? Your brain kind of shuts off once you play certain characters. Like it kind of just stops you. It's like if you were using dumbbells that were too light for you, you probably could try to go for high reps. But once you start becoming bored and lazy with it, you need something challenging. Thor, you do need a lot of skill. You do need your bread and butter combos. You do need good cooldown management, but he's too good at what he does. Ultron, definitely right there with Adam. He will probably be the number one thing. He has good poke damage. That's the only thing really going good for him. The thing is his flying ability. These two drones, they nerfed him. He's really hard to play. The thing about it is if you have Mac, he gets countered. If he has Hela countered, anything can counter him so hard. He's not like Torch where like he can just shoot projectiles. You need to be in line of sight of enemies to get damage. And the thing is, his primary is hard to land. You can't just you kind of have to hold it and keep tracking him to get the full damage off them. He's very hard to play. Mentally, he's also hard to play because you're going to be performing way worse with him. You're going to be wanting to switch to Invis. You're going to be your team is going to basically be typing GGs and want to quit. Basically, try to avoid you, blame you, try to report you. That's mentally taxing as well. Venom, B tier. Once you're faster, his fundamental is easy. His gameplay is too easy. It doesn't push you hard enough. It could, but his kit doesn't really push you to become a better player. It's very simple and straightforward. White Fox, right above A tier. She could become really good, like I said, like any of these heroes, really good. But she also suffers the same thing. You become too complacent once you become too good with her. You need to go above and beyond. Bucky, same thing as well. B tier. He's too good. You should even see him at Ignite. Like I watch Ignite for the first time. He's too good at what he does as well. Way too good. Has CC abilities. 2 of them. Hook, push, or basically a shove. His little projectiles he shoots with his primary and his E. His grounding ability is basically all this that resets his ammo. His ultimate that keeps refreshing every elimination he gets. He's too good at what he does. You become complacent. A lot of people use him because he's too good at what he does. But that doesn't help you become a better player. Once you start playing any character that requires too much skill and you see yourself suffering, you basically just want to go back to Bucky. Same thing with Venom, same thing with Widow. All these, it's too hard. Wolverine, high A tier as well. Probably around here. Same thing as follow the magic. You need to know how to position well, know how to use his abilities well, and not just click and just use. You actually need to know how to use them. Requires some timing, some practice, a lot of practice actually. So it challenges you. The only thing he falls off is once you do go with him, you become complacent because he has high potential to become good, but a high skill ceiling. Jubilee, look, Jubilee probably around this tier. She's not really good supported because like she requires a lot of orb management. Not only that, the way people play in this game, straight up, just they're always moving back and forth, and her orbs are challenging you to cooldown management. So she's really bad at supporting, but that what makes her good because you need to be aware all the time. You need to have your brain on all the time. Your abilities aren't always saving you. You need to play with them. You're not like Invis. You're not like Cloak and Dagger where you can just throw your bubble, throw your shield, bam. No, you need to be having a good awareness because that orb isn't going to instantly heal you, even with your ultimate. But she is bad. She is a baddie though. Hood, I don't know. I didn't even watch his reveal, but I'm guessing since he's the tank who's probably going to be around A tier, he is going to push you because I think every tank within itself kind of pushes you to become a better player simply because their impact isn't about getting eliminations, but it's mostly about frontlining and how to frontline the best way without frontlining, if that makes sense. I'll put him around A tier. But yeah, this is my tier list. I hope most people agree with it. Hopefully this list will actually serve you to become better. You know, these are probably S tier will definitely be the heroes you want to pick to actually become better, because they kind of challenge you. You can't rely on how much burst damage they have, how good they are. You're forced to innovate. You're forced to adapt with them to get the maximum out of them. All these other A tier heroes, you're schizo. You're schizo. You basically are always told you're doing good. You see the numbers. You're always doing good with these players. You're doing your job, but the thing is, you know it's not enough. You're still in Celestial and Grandmaster. That's when you need to think out of the box and stop playing like you always play and play different, even though that takes attacks on your stats. This is always a go-to for players, but this is why they're B tier, because they don't really push you to become a better player. This especially doesn't push you to become a better player. You can just turn off your brain. This definitely just turns off your brain and GG's. That's it.